Hi, this is Bill Griffiths, owner of Farmer's Gastropub, and what's cooking local today is stale bread. Or this is what you can do to not waste stale bread. So basically the first thing we need to do is to take off the crust, and it's kind of crunchy doing it this way, and we can use the bread cut into rectangles, but I like circles, so we're going to do something really simple. We're going to take a pastry cutter, we're going to shove it down through there, and we're going to finish up with a little roundel of stale bread. Okay, this recipe comes from France. They call it pain perdu, which means lost bread. I prefer to call it saved bread because we're going to save it here with a couple of eggs. Second one right. We're just going to whisk those up a little bit. And people are already saying, I can hear you saying out there in TV land, oh, he's going to make French toast. Not quite. This recipe may come from France. It may have some of the bits of French toast, but this is slightly different. So just wait and see. We've got a vanilla pod here. I'm going to use fresh vanilla bean in my custard that I'm making here. So just some fresh vanilla bean in there. Just need some custard, some sugar. And we have sugar. We're using pure cane sugar. It's organic. It comes from one of the local stores, Down to Earth Foods, and we like to use as much natural and local as we possibly can. So there's my batter, and all I need now is my frying pan over here. I've got some melted butter in the frying pan. We're going to take our stale bread, we're going to dip it into the batter, and then we're going to pop it into the frying pan and put it on the heat. Okay, so what we've got it on the stove here for is just to get a little bit of colour. The thing about cooking is colour always equals flavour, so we're just going to make sure we get a nice little bit of colour on both sides of this dish, this bread, and then we're going to pop it in the oven to make sure that we cook it through with all of that lovely French toast batter, as you want to call it. I call it custard mix, and we've got a nice bit of sizzle going on here right now. What I want to do is get a nice even colour on the top, because it's going to spend a little bit more time in the oven before we actually plate it. Alright, so there we have our French toast look-alike, but it's not. It's actually this lost bread, this stale bread that's been used up. Now you can top this with just about anything you like. But what we've done today is we're going to top this with some caramelized organic Braeburn apples. These are beautiful organic apples. It's always good news to choose organic apples that have got no pesticides on them, and that's what we're going to use. We're going to slice up the apples, just going to cut them in half like that, and cut some nice wedges so that we can put them into a nice caramel in the pan and make a caramel sauce. So that what we can do is take those apples and turn them into something that looks a little bit like that. And then what we did earlier today was make some raspberry coulis from some frozen raspberries that came from Broken Wire Ranch. And this is just raspberries and sugar cooked down, passed through a sieve so we get a nice smooth raspberry sauce. We just drizzle that over the top of our little dish here, just like that. Save that to one side. One final touch, we make our own, but trust me, you can get really good ice cream or frozen custard locally. So let's just get some of our ice cream here, and we take one of our Farmer's homemade ice creams and we just top it off with Farmer's homemade ice cream, and just as a final flourish, a little drizzle of the raspberry coulis over the top. This is Bill Griffiths with Farmer's Gastropub, and That right there is what's cooking local, stale bread.